Alright guys, I always wanted a clamp for this exact reason, for testing pull-on things, and so I got one the other day, and what I wanted to do was, I already posted a picture that the pumps, if I just jump the power, it pulls about 35.5 amps max to kick the pumps on. So just for fun, what I want to do is when I start this thing, I'm going to hook it up to my battery, and I'm going to see how much amperage everything pulls to start the truck, and I'm going to set it up on maximum, so it just gives me the max. And then while it's running, I'm going to continually check the amperage draw on the fuel pump wiring before and after the relay and the surge protector here to see if there's any difference, and then I'll see how much I'm pulling on my alternator while all of it is running, just for fun. And then as it warms up, we're going to see if it draws anymore. What are we at? Okay, so we're on maximum amperage off the battery, so I'll start the thing. We'll see how much it draws on the hit. See if it starts. It's been on vacation. Draws 37 amps, which should be fine. I got like a 10 or an 8 gauge wire on there. So I'm unsure. I think it was just a bad crimp. We've gone over this a bunch of times. The relay gets hot, but it always seems to get hot. The wires don't get hot. The relay gets hot. Interesting, but you know, I'm not sure what else is up with that. Maybe, I can't imagine it gets angry because it's directly connected to the alternator. I always thought that was a good practice. Maybe I need to put it on the battery, but it's not overdrawing anything. There's really nothing else I can think of as far as all of that, how that goes. So I still, I'm waiting. A guy is gonna send me like a fused relay, all-in-one, double redundant fuel pump setup that I can stagger my pumps with. So I might just rewire everything. Like I might run one pump off of this existing wire, and then what I'll do is I'll run the other 2 pumps off of newer wire and see how all that goes. But you know, I figure I'll wait to do all that before I rip the tank and pumps and all the bullshit back out again. Run this thicker power wire to everything. But yeah, other than that, I just want to get this fuel pump ready and make a pass soon at the track. And those are all my plans for this thing right now. And that's about it. So we'll see when we get there. Okay guys, I had plenty of requests to see people. They all were like, I would love to see you install that fucking squid mess fuel pump shit that you built. So I said, okay. So next time I mess with it, which today I upgraded the wiring, and like another guy suggested, I ran a ground to the battery because I was grounding to the chassis, and he was saying a poor chassis ground will overheat relay also. So I'm doing everything all at once. Just getting bored here and wanting to drive my truck without worrying about this. I'm just replacing the fuel feed and everything. So we'll go with the lowest pump first, and she just drops in. This tank is extremely full, as you can see. I hung up, there we go. Just hung up on my cut up bed and a hose clamp, and then we'll dip this pump in after this pump, and then it's just making sure like all the wiring and everything goes down, you know, and a quality light that won't fall when you hit it should also expedite your process. Okay, get the little vent tube out of the way, push the block in. What are we at? Yep, it's fucking full. That's for sure. Then you just walk all the pumps to the back of the tank. Like so. Slide them back. Grab the ring that you tossed. Throw this ring back on. Rotate all this bullshit. It's got to go approximately here. And then push the ring down. And that's pretty much it. That's where it's got to go. That's the vent. The vent plug. There's my power and my 2 fuel lines. So that is it, other than making sure all the ring things are in place, which they look like it, and then pounding the ring on. Come on. These are always a joy, right guys? They'll always go and then stop and then go. Shower and gas. There it is. And that is all. Other than, where's my return now? My return line fell. You shitter. There it is. It's over here. Pull one over the other or what? I don't know. I moved everything. I also ripped out. I had the stock fuel lines and the vent lines underneath the car and the trans tunnel and shit, so I just got rid of all of that today. I cut it all out. Finally, right? There's my return. There's my feed. Now a wiggle. Okay. And then tighten this guy up. I'll have to zip tie the excess, obviously, but plug in my power and ground. Okay, and we'll zippy that, but first we'll go over and jump the pump and make sure it ain't pissing all over the place. So I'll move the camera. Okay, here we are at Pumping Station Road. Let's connect this and just touch this and make sure the pumps come on. Yep. Okay, they come on. So now I'll touch this and we'll go look for leaks. Maybe I'll take you with me. Well, boys, no leaks. Sounds pretty good. They sound quieter almost, or they sound better. They got a cleaner ground and power now. Should we check the, see if it's the same 35-ish amps? DC amps. Output. Oh, it's pulling 40 now. Pulling more power. Yep, 39 amps. 36 on the ground. That's the pump ground now. It comes all the way up front. Yeah, 40 amps. Boys. 36 on the negative. I don't know why it does that. It catches the flow in the wrong direction. 38 amps. 1 amp to kick the relay. Let's see what it jumps, if it jumps at all. Nah, it goes 30 and then 39. So get that. It's pulling 40 amps. Which what you hear is these pull 18 max. So if we go 18 times 3, that's 54 max. So, interesting find for sure. What I guess we can do is hook this guy back up. Can I, it's funny when I hook it that way it shows negative and in the other, I guess I don't understand how electricity flows. Should we start the car now? See what it draws while it's running? Fucking extension cords and everything all over the place. Let's just fire her. get this, kids. Get this, boys and girls. Interesting find. Maybe we can discuss this with some of you people that are better at electricity, electronics, wiring, amperage and everything. I upgraded the wiring and now it pulls more. It pulls 48.4 amps on a 50 amp breaker, 80 amp relay, 50 amp breaker. It's all 6 gauge wire now, so I could upgrade this like a 75 amp because that's an 80 amp relay. So what'll be interesting is to see if the relay stays cooler, because the relay just gets hot. It's a big ass relay. It doesn't get hot that like it's gonna melt or burn, but it feels hot. So that's an interesting find. 48 amps. 3 pumps. I'm bad with math on my head, bros. 48 divided by 3, 16 amps a piece. They said they draw 18 amps max. So they're right around their limit at that 50 amp circuit. So it very well could have been, because if you look at this, this was my feed line, which was okay for probably 2 of them, but 3 of them was taxing it, but that's kind of what I wanted to test. This was the feed and this was the ground. So this is, I cut it, but that's what was grounded to the chassis in the back of the truck. It's the same size, power and ground wires. And then other people were commenting, this is 8 gauge, but they were saying that, you know, the inside measurement isn't particularly 8 gauge. You know, it's crappy Chinese. And then they were saying the fine strand is bad for high current. So I can use these for something else, power and ground wire. And these are great for single pumps or double pumps, you know, but triple pumps, I basically need a fucking starter wire for. And on top of that, at this point, I probably would have been better off changing the whole thing over to a giant external, which is, I can question that. You know, I like that plastic sump that I got from my buddy Troy's truck. That thing's actually nice. Put it in the tank, and then you have a sump, because I wouldn't want to put a fuel cell in this truck, because I've had a bunch of like street cars and cars with fuel cells, and the fuel cell's annoying. The fuel cell's fucking annoying to like take up my bed and put a fuel cell in it and remove the filler neck is so nice. You just pull up to a gas station and you put gas in. If you put gas in your car a lot, you're gonna like the filler neck. Why would you want to open your, I mean, unless part of the allure of owning a vehicle that makes noise and has a turbo, and it's cool for you to be like, look at me guys, I have to open my trunk and fill a fuel cell and spill gas all over. If part of that is cool, and that's fine if that's you. That's your enjoyment, the whole fun and doing something different. No, it's fucking stupid. I'll change my mind. It's dumb. Why do you want to not put your, if it's 05 Colorado and it has a filler door, you just don't want to just fill the fucking gas? Anyway, the triple pumps are cheaper, for sure. Even with all this, it's the cost of one 4303. But neat experiment anyway. Upgraded the wiring. We'll see how it does. See if it gets hot. Take it for drives. I want to put some crap tires on the back of this thing and just beat the shit out of it again. Drive it around, and it has a fucking full tank, so it definitely should use some of the fuel. But anyway, you got to see how my fuel spider gets reinstalled. I upgraded the wiring here for all 3 pumps, and you know, mess around and do some other things. We'll see. Now I'm assuming it'll pop my breaker, because it wasn't, again, you guys can comment on this, but why it was not tripping this. I guess we'll see why it was not tripping it, because of the small ground or something. Yeah, you guys can let me know. I'm not smart enough to know. Now it's close to tickling the 50 amp kicker, so we'll see if it kicks that, if I jump on it. But like they say, 18 amps max, so 54. So hopefully this blows at 60 instead of 50 and doesn't kick me off if it ever tickles that high a voltage. Anyway, that's it for now. And I'll figure out something else to do with this thing in the next day or two.